HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, this summer's Concerts on the Common kicked off. HCAM reporter Sidhi Dhanda caught up with Eric Carty and much more. But first, the Select Board recently welcomed some new town employees. The Select Board recently approved a couple of promotions and appointments by Town Manager Norman Kamalu. The Select Board confirmed the promotion of Danielle Cook, the selected candidate for Reference and Technology Supervisor at the library.
Is that we have an opportunity for an internal promotion. And thirdly, the internal promotion would not have occurred without the tremendous support and engagement by the community in the work that Danielle has done for us over the years. So for me, without further ado, I'm requesting that the Select Board confirm the Town Manager's appointment of Danielle Cook as our first supervisor for Reference and Technology Services at the library.
Management opportunities and training, and she shows passion for public service in her day-to-day interactions.
Wonderful, wonderful. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I don't think so. We do know Danielle from the Hopkinton 101, and we're happy to have her take on this new role. So.
The only comment I wanted to make is we're glad to have you promoted, but given the squirrels and acorns on your shirt, I think the kids in the library are going to love it.
The Select Board also confirmed the Town Manager's appointment of Kerry Reed as the Director of Public Works.
Hi, Carrie. How are you?
I'm very, very good.
Terrific. Thanks for being here tonight. Mr. Kamalo, do you want to start us up?
Yes. I am respectfully requesting that the board confirm the Town Manager's appointment of Kerry Reed as Hopkinton's next Public Works Director. I am very happy that our efforts were successful convincing her to abandon the Conservation Commission and join DPW. So thank you, Kerry, for making that decision. As you know, the Department of Public Works Director serves a key leadership position in town, strategically directing, planning, and overseeing the operations of the DPW, its staff, and equipment. The director leads teams and takes an active role in the planning, design, construction, and yes, timely completion and maintenance of town's public infrastructure. This includes roads, wastewater collection, water supply, distribution systems, subsurface stormwater collection systems, and so forth. We are presenting Kerry Reed owing to her very successful work at the City of Worcester Department of Public Works as the Assistant Commissioner. Also spent 7 years working as the Assistant City Engineer for the City of Framingham. Prior to that, She worked in the private sector for a MEC Environmental and Infrastructure Inc. as a senior engineer, and most significantly, she is a retired U.S. Army officer, worked as an engineer officer for the Army. Thank you for your service. And with that, I present again and respectfully request that the Select Board confirm the Town Manager's appointment of Kerry Reid as Hopkinton's next Public Works Director.
The Select Board approved the Town Manager's appointment of Julia Chun as the Sustainability, Economic Development, and Equity Project Manager.
We're excited to have you here, and your resume is obviously stellar. I'm going to go ahead and ask you a question just for fun. So when you think about this position being very new, so innovating a position, as we've all talked about, is, it's wildly exciting, but it's challenging as well. What sort of sparks your enthusiasm as far as potentials here in Hopkinton?
So I'm a big ideas person. I love thinking outside the box and getting to collaborate with stakeholders, residents, with businesses, and even just parking here on the main street. I got to see all the exciting construction, and I think that one of the challenges and one of the most exciting parts of work like this is that you get to draw a vision with community members, and you get to bring in new businesses, new ideas, new revenue, while preserving the heart of the town. And so that is something I'm really looking forward to doing. I think the other thing is that I grew up right around Northborough, Boylston, and so I took advantage of the Hopkinton State Park as well as the Whitehall State Reservation, and so I love the nature as well as the business opportunities here. So I look forward to working with all of you and the residents here to make sure that we're not only preserving Hopkinton's character, but bringing in new ideas.
This summer, HCAM welcomed Hopkinton High School student Sidhi Dhanda to the reporting team. One of Sidhi's tasks will be producing a new HCAM original show called Out on the Town, where she will catch up with some of the great town employees in Hopkinton and allow you to get to know them a bit more. In the first episode of Out on the Town, Sidhi caught up with Hopkinton Water Sewer Manager Eric Carty.
I started part-time in the summers and then gradually ended up staying here and working my way up through to where I am right now.
How did you decide DPW Water Sewer Management?
When I first started, my neighbor was actually the clerk here for over 30 years. So when I graduated high school and was getting ready to go to college, I was commuting, so I was looking for a part-time job, and she was able to get me a part-time job here. So I started working in the summers, helping out, and then when I was going to school, I was reading the meters, so I'd go around. Back then, we used to have to walk to every household in town and write down the numbers, so that was my first job.
What's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part is the men and women that work here. We've got a great bunch of people that work here, and it makes it fun and coming in every day. Everyone always helps everybody else out.
I've noticed that there's been a lot of construction and population change, and that's only been in the 3 years that I've been here. I'm sure you've seen a lot of population growth in construction. How has that affected what you do? Has it changed your job a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a very limited supply of water. We have gravel pack wells that are in the ground, and we share water with the town of Ashland through a wastewater plant, but it's a limited supply. So as the population has increased, and it's been rather rapidly here in town, it's put a strain on our system. That coupled with some of the issues that we have with the water with contaminants in it, it's been a real challenge for us. Through the past few years also, the rules and regulations have become much more stringent with the DEP. So we're looking to the future, and our current plan is to connect to the MWRA, which will give us a lot more supply, be able to sustain the growth of the town, maybe add. Only 70% of the town is actually on town water right now. There's other areas of town that have wells, and those can often go dry during the drought years. So it'll give us the ability to maybe tie some of those areas in.
You mentioned connecting to, I think you called it
the MWRA.
How does that work? What's the future for the water department?
So that is the Quabbin Reservoir, which is out in the middle of the state, is owned by the state, and that's what supplies all of Boston, and there's several other communities along the way that provide water through there. So that's a much better water supply that we currently have. Because our wells are older, the more that we draw out of them, it draws in basically minerals, iron and manganese, which are very prevalent in New England. They're in the ground, and they can cause staining and other issues. They're not really health-related issues.
What did young Eric Carty think he'd be doing for a job now?
I'm a big hockey player, so my goal was always to be a professional hockey player. I grew up when Bobby Orr was famous for the Boston Bruins. I grew up on Lake Maspinock, so I learned to skate at a very young age. So I think I even have it in my yearbook.
What was your family like growing up? Did you have any siblings?
I do. I do have a sister. She's been in Florida for quite a while. She's 10 years older than me. My neighborhood is a very tight-knit family neighborhood. In fact, my neighbor, Jean Scalata, who got me this job, her father actually bought the land where we live now on Lake Maspinock. He bought the whole side on Oakhurst Road that I live on, and he developed that. So I grew up with Jean's kids and her brother's kids. The Deneen family was the family that originally established the road, and Jean was a Deneen. So I had like 3 extended families, and we spent all our time between either being in the water, or we have over 100 acres of woods up behind us. So
now, you mentioned earlier that you actually are living on the same spot that you were born, the same house for 57 years?
That's correct. Yeah, my home was an original camp that people would come out. It was actually called the Boulders because it was built. The camp was built on top of a giant rock that was over there. So people would come out from the city and they'd rent the camp for the summer to go out and use the lake resources. So my parents bought that in the 50s.
Now, I know you often come on HCAM to talk about the weather trends in Hopkinton. Where did that interest come from?
My family friend, we played hockey together. We were best friends growing up. His father was actually taught weather in the Natick High School. And he would always follow all the weather forecasts. And one day he was watching one of the channels and he saw that they were in Boston. It was either raining or snowing, I forget which. And so he called up and said, "Oh, we got bright sunshine out here. We don't have that." And it was actually Bruce Swigler was the weather forecast. And he said, "Well, you know what? Would you mind doing me a favor? Would you mind calling on a regular basis and letting us know what's happening out in Hopkinton? Because it could be different from what's here." So he was like the original weather spotter for anybody doing the weather here in Boston. And so he kind of got me interested in it. For my job, I have to track water levels and track snow levels because it's important for recharging our wells and aquifers. And so he said, "Oh, why don't you start calling?" And I kind of I'm too busy to do that. But the more I thought about it, I'm already doing it. There's not much more other than sending it in. And now it's so easy because it's all computerized. There's apps and everything. So you merely just punch in the numbers and you can send that information off, and it's very helpful to the weather services, and that gives us an idea of what's going on around us. So it's been fun for me to do that. I also WBZ weather watcher as well, so I report the readings in the morning, noon, and evening shows so that they have an idea of what's going on out here in the suburbs.
Be on the lookout for more episodes of Out on the Town in the very near future. And catch the entirety of the episodes on our website, hcam.tv, or our YouTube channel. We're going to take a quick break. A whole lot more HCAM news ahead. Don't go anywhere. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Welcome back to HCAM News. HCAM's John Ritz was at the Town Commons Sunday to cover the annual Parks and Recreation Concerts on the Common series. The Roy Scott Big Band kicked things off for the 2023 schedule. Here's a look.
They wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs. They recorded hundreds and hundreds of songs. And we're finally going to get around to playing one of them. Out of the middle years, Lennon and McCartney wrote a tune called Got to Get You Into My Life. Great chart. Hope you enjoy it.
It's time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. Mark it down in your calendar. Saturday, September 23rd from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. It'll be the annual Hopkinton Family Day, hosted by the Friends of Hopkinton. All kinds of fun games and events and fun for all ages at the Hopkinton Family Day, Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 9 p.m. at the Hopkinton High School Athletic Fields. Fall registration for Hopkinton High School fall sports is open. Cheerleading, cross-country, field hockey, football, golf, soccer, volleyball, unified basketball, all accepting sign-ups now. So if you wish to sign up for middle and high school fall sports, the registration is now open. Our picture of the week is Holly Paharic of Hopkinton Hillers softball. She's been competing in all kinds of summer leagues and is making some big noise, and congratulations to Holly as she made the all-region team. This photo courtesy of the Metro West Daily News, which recently published a very nice article about Hopkinton's own Holly Paharic. Upcoming town government meetings include on Tuesday, August 1st at 6 p.m., we'll have the Select Board meeting airing live on HCAM TV. And on Thursday, August 3rd at 7 p.m., you can catch the school committee meeting live on our HCAM Ed channel. And of course, all meetings are also live on our YouTube channel. For more information about upcoming meetings on HCAM, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for more information about the content of the meetings, you can head over to the town website at hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we're out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Alana Cassidy. I'm the chair of the Cultural Council, and I'm here to discuss our meeting on July 13th, 2023. We started our meeting with a call to order at 6 o'clock. We introduced our new member, Kirthika. She's been with us for about 6 months, but she has not been able to come to a meeting because she's been out of the country. So she joined us via Zoom. So that was very exciting to meet her. And we're excited to have her as part of our council. At 6:05, we approved meeting minutes. We were really backed up on approving our meeting minutes because we had one meeting where no one had access to them, and we had another meeting where we didn't have a quorum, and we had another meeting where I think we didn't have a quorum again. So anyway, we approved a bunch of meeting minutes, so that was very exciting. So we got those on the town website now. Then our treasurer's report, Jonathan also gave our treasurer's report, and we haven't had very many grant applications ask for their money yet, so we're just kind of waiting for that paperwork to come in so we can reimburse them. So the report is a little up in the air just because we know the projects have happened, but we have not gotten paperwork to reimburse them. So that will be, there's a lot of pending treasurer's items. Another thing we talked about was just his term coming up at the end of the year, and needing to have a new treasurer. And of course, the person that wasn't a member that wasn't there, we decided he was the best person to do it. But we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. But if anyone would like to join the Cultural Council and is good at being a treasurer, we would love to have you. The next thing we did was just get an update on liaisons and grants, which kind of blended into the treasurer's report, as we all basically said, oh, these things are happening, and we've been trying to make sure everyone knows how to apply for their reimbursements. The next big thing we did, we were also joined by Kelly Grill. She logged in remotely. She's the director of the HCA, and we were talking about cultural districting. We're working on creating a cultural district in the town of Hopkinton, which will bring increased funding to the town in support of the arts. So just talking about, there's just a lot of paperwork to get done with that, and we need to create our own cultural district committee, which is a separate committee from the Cultural Council. So going through who we could get to be on that and what their job duties would be, and how we just get that project moving forward, because we started to do it, and then the Massachusetts Cultural Council put a pause on towns creating a district, and now they've opened it up again, and we're really wanting to get that going, and be able to maybe integrate it into maybe what's going to happen with parts of the center school, or talking about how we get everything integrated to really promote the tourism of Hopkinton. So we talked about that for a while. The next thing we talked about was art on the trail. Christine Enos is leading that. She has some really good ideas about working with each different town entity, like town groups, almost like they have for Hop 101, but having people each do their own piece of art on the trail and making it kind of a uniform thing. So everyone has a piece of canvas that they can do their art on. And so that sounds like a really, really cool art on the trail this year. We're super excited to get that project running. That would be in October. The next thing we didn't really talk about, we talked about that we're going to talk about is the stoplight box artwork, which is going to be like if you've been to other towns, how they have their stoplight boxes painted and decorated. So that's something that we're working on having happen. And finally, we talked about our need to recruit new members. We have a bunch of members that terms are up, and we already have some vacancies. So we just talked about how we can get people interested. I'm hoping to get a story in the Independent about the Hopkins Cultural Council and things we do, and just getting word of mouth out to people if they are interested in joining the Cultural Council. So hopefully someone out there is watching this and saying, oh, the Cultural Council, that sounds like something amazing. I would love to be part of that. We want you. And all you have to do is just fill out the paperwork on the town hall website. So that, and then at 7:00, we actually adjourned at 6:56. I was very proud of how on time our meeting was. So that was what we did. During the summer, we're pretty mellow, and we just really just plan for the fall and things that are going to be happening and try and make sure everything is in order so we can have as many successful projects as possible and get as many people aware of the Cultural Council as possible. So that was it. And thank you so much for listening. And again, if you're interested in joining, please reach out to me or the town hall, and we can get you on our council. Have a great day. Thanks.